When you go back and watch that first Wisconsin game, I know that was forever ago, but what can be kind of different about this one?
I think a lot of things. I think obviously defensively we were pretty poor. I think we have a lot of places to get better on that side of the ball. They did a good job of executing their game plan, and obviously Johnny Davis played really well that game. But just rebounding, little things like that, 50-50 balls, offensively just not really executing, plays and what we wanted to do. So overall, just watch that game, just got to get better from it.
Is this one of those games where you guys talk about the stakes?
As a team, we haven't really discussed it, but it's obviously, biggest game of the year. I would think, in everybody's minds, it's really important. Winner of this is, if they win, they get a share of, or they could win outright and we could get a share of it. So it's just, it's really important. Obviously, you're going into a really tough environment. It's going to be a sold-out place. They're going to have a lot of energy. They're going to have a lot of, things to play for, but so do we. This is a major goal of ours at the beginning of the year to win the Big Ten championship, and we put ourselves in a position to do that. Obviously, we've had a setback, but just got to move forward. And, like I said before, our goals are still in front of us, and we could still accomplish what we want to. So just keeping that in our minds.
Just as a player to be in this kind of game, I mean, how does that juice you up? How does that kind of get you going? That it's a must-win from a Big Ten standpoint.
Yeah, definitely. It's we talk about it all the time, but any game is a big game in the Big Ten. But obviously, this means a little bit more, and especially just personally the way I played last game, I'm just disappointed myself in how I played. So just it's a good thing about our schedule, and the good thing about basketball is you get another game and you get it pretty quickly. So. Just excited. It's a big game. It's these are the things that you want to do when you sign up to play here, and luckily we get a chance to do it.
When Michigan State tries to do what it did as far as taking you guys off the three-point line as much as possible, what's the counter now for you guys to go against that?
I mean, just taking open lanes and open shots when they come available. Continuing to look inside for our post players. I thought Zach did a good job of just getting his space, getting his position where we were able to feed him the ball. But yeah, if they're running off the line, then, you got to be more than just a one-dimensional player and get to the rim or make plays for others. And yeah, definitely, I think that's something we can do, and we just got to execute our game plan a little bit better.
Do teams have to be a little bit stronger mentally against Wisconsin than do other teams, just because they're so consistent in what they do and they don't beat themselves and some kind of methodical about things?
Yeah, definitely. They're a really well-coached team. They run their stuff to perfection. They have great players on top of it, and they're going to be slower paced. They're going to really defend. So that just makes you have to be even more sharp. I think it's it's similar to like a Villanova team. Like they're very disciplined. They're fundamental. They do things the right way. So. And obviously, they're very good, and their record shows it, in the games that they've played against some tough people have showed it. So, yeah, definitely. Just you can't shoot yourself in the foot. You can't make turnovers. You can't go, let them get on runs or whatever it may be. You just have to be locked in for an entire 40 minutes.
Is there anything specific you can do to slow down Davis this time that you didn't do last time?
I mean, just play better defense. I mean, like we just didn't do our job. I think that's. It's one thing that we really struggled with early on, especially. I think it's just really buying in on that side of the floor and just doing our jobs and doing it together. I think is going to be really important. He hit some tough shots in the first game. He's a great player. He's might win Big Ten Player of the Year for a reason. He hit some tough ones, but just making sure they're there on the catch and making everything tough for him. And I think hopefully we could do a better job.
The first half turnovers in that game really mattered. The first half turnovers against Indiana, really mattered. Obviously, the turnovers are to start the second half of Michigan State really mattered. Is there something about those stretches where it's not necessarily the turnover total at the end of the day, but it's those stretches of, 5 out of 7 or 5 out of 8 possessions or whatever, that in those moments people need to be better?
Yeah, we're just, they're just empty possessions that we're having, and if you're not getting stops on the other end, it just accumulates runs, and those are important, especially late in the season like this. But especially when you're playing good teams, like it happened in the Michigan State game, you don't get good quality shots at the rim. You're either turning the ball over, and it's live ball turnovers where they're getting a transition to get some layups, and Michigan State did that. But yeah, it's something that we've really talked about. Is just we have mental lapses, especially at the start of the second half, and we're just not playing great in those that time of the game. So it's just something that you just got to fix. You just got to take care of the ball a little bit more. You got to make right decisions. You got to take the open lanes when they're available and not force things. And I know it's just one of those things you got to learn from.
Obviously, with the turnovers being so prevalent, I guess this season in your guys' losses, does it help just knowing that turnover is something that you guys can control yourselves? I mean, obviously, if your shots aren't falling, that's not always something you can control, but the turnover aspect of it is something that's in your guys' hands, I guess.
I mean, yeah, if you just take away the Michigan game, obviously we played really bad in that game, and they beat us pretty bad. But I think in all of our other losses, it's been more of our mistakes that have gotten us beat. It's whether it's turnovers or rebounding the ball or not doing our job offensively or defensively. I think it's more how we've played, and we're still in games. A lot of those games we've lost pretty close at the end. So it's just something, like I said, you just got to really learn from. You just got to understand that teams are really going to want to play their best basketball against us. They're going to want to ratchet up their energy and everything like that, and we just have to be ready and take care of the ball. I think it's an important piece for our team.